Hi, I hope you're all doing really well. So last week saw the launch of my September STYLISA FoundHers interview with the brilliant Abigail Foster, chartered accountant, author of the Money Manual, and founder of the financial education business Elent. Today I'm going to be sharing my top 3 takeaways from the interview, but I do have a bit of a confession to make. I actually have a notepad here with about 10, in fact, let me have a look. 10 to 12 takeaways because there were just so many nuggets, but I've actually managed to whittle it down to 3, so I'm going to share those with you now. So let's get into it. The first one is financial literacy is a right and not a privilege. Abigail is passionate about demystifying money, and she truly believes that regardless of your income, everyone deserves to understand their finances, and I could not agree more. When I first started out in the world of work, I was 18 and I did not understand my finances. I could not read a payslip. I didn't know what everything meant on the payslip. And despite the efforts of my very lovely bank manager, the truth is I didn't really start to understand my finances until I got into my 30s and I got into a bit of debt. So yes, I completely agree with Abigail when she says that financial literacy is a right and it is not a privilege. The second takeaway that I have here is the importance of meeting people where they are. Whether she's working with students or corporate employees, I think what's great about Abigail is she tailors her approach. She doesn't assume knowledge. She listens, she simplifies, and she makes it relevant. I think when it comes to understanding money, those 3 things are so important. I know they're important for me, and I'm sure they're important for everyone else. The third and most important takeaway for me was you don't have to be perfect, you just have to start. I'll say it again, you don't have to be perfect, you just have to start. One of Abigail's tips was that you should start small. And this really resonated with me because that's how I started on my own financial journey. I started really small. I started tracking my spending and then I set myself a goal and I built from there. And it was really refreshing to hear her say that as a professional and as a chartered accountant. You know, we live in a world that sells instant results all of the time. We're just overloaded with it. And it was really refreshing to hear someone say that financial confidence is a process and it begins with awareness. So those are my top 3 takeaways. I'd love to hear what your top 3 takeaways are. You can drop them in the comments below or you can send me a DM. And if you haven't read the interview, head over to my website, www.lisamaynard-atem.com/STYLISA FoundHers. And I look forward to hearing your feedback and your comments and your takeaways. Bye for now.